Hello and welcome to this map tour on ITALIA Emilia extension. So first thing I want to point out is this map is outstanding. It really is something unique. It kind of stands up there with CalmsDen for me as just completely a one-off. You can tell that there's not many maps like it, and the amount of detail and effort that's gone into it by EDOMOD, the Italian map designer. And you can pretty much tell straight away when you start up how much it's improved from the FS19 version, the light version that it was called, which was still a really good map, but now the map's expanded out, and there's just so much to offer. And there's a lot of productions as well, some added fill types, and yeah, there's loads. We'll try and get through as much as we can when we do the map tour. So you've probably seen it at the start, what it looks like, but now I'm just going to show you how to get it, where to get it from, and also what you need to do to get the two different versions. So the map is only in one official place, which is on EDO, his website. So this is the website itself now, the front page. I will put a link in the video description to this. You can see there's a lot of information. You can even tell when a website is designed like this, you just know straight away that the map itself is pretty much going to be epic. So lots of information. You've even got the map on here itself. You've even got the recommended mods, so you can download straight from the links. These ones he recommends using. Some more, kind of got the Italian vibes. So a lot of it's New Holland, Fiat Agris as well, you see. So if you do want to use these, you can. It's nice to have the links all in one handy place. And then there's the mandatory mods, which you do need to have before you even try and boot up the game. So make sure you download these 5 mods, especially these 2 here, but obviously you want to have all 5 before you boot up the game. Let's talk about the versions then. To boot up this map, you're either going to have one or the other. You've got the low quality, and then you've got the HD textures. Now both come with an installation guide, which is just a bit of a guide, and it shows you each map. It talks through in just brief detail about where the triggers are, what the map has, like animal pens and stuff like that, so how many, if you can have sheep there, cows and so on. Just a brief understanding of each farm on the map and how it's laid out. So that's pretty good to have. Now I'm going to be running the HD texture pack on the map tour, but you can't go with the low quality. There's 2 low qualities. There's one that's single player and one that's multiplayer. Now the difference between the 2 is on multiplayer there's no train, because he had issues with the train. Trying to get that to work on single player and multiplayer combined on one map was just too difficult, so they've separated the map into 2 versions, a single player and a multiplayer. The multiplayer basically just doesn't have the train, whereas the single player has everything. Now the low texture qualities are free. If you do go and click on the link, what you'll find is you go to a place. He does ask for a donation. It's entirely up to you if you want to do that. Obviously it's gone and taken a lot of time to make this map, 3 years of development as it says there. So let's say you wanted to just get it free. You click single donation or credit card or free download. Click the link, it'll open up here, and you say you want this. You need to type in 0 if you're paying nothing, or if you want to make a donation, type in something else. Click want this. You'll go through the step up. The next step, you do have to have an email address though, so you need to supply an email address. And anything else, it'll ask you a question. Did you play Italia map in FS19? What's your nickname? But you do need to provide an email address. Now, if you do want the upgraded version, which is a much bigger file size, it really is. I think it adds over 1.5 GB around that to the file size already. So it's in total, you're talking about 2, maybe 2.5 gigs, 2 point something gigs. Exactly, this map will be when it's finished. It is a big, hefty map, and you can definitely tell that. So what you do if you want the HD texture pack is you click that, but what you'll notice is you do have to pay a minimum of €2 for this. Now, I've looked at these textures and they are good quality. They really are good quality. So to me, €2, what's that? For me, it's like going out and buying a cup of tea or a coffee or anything like that. I don't mind doing that at all. I think that's worth it. But then again, it's entirely up to you. If you want the free version with the lowest textures, and I will say that they are quite low. You do notice the difference. The textures are a lot lower. So it's up to you. If you do that though, same things apply. Put the 2 in minimum, and I want this. Same setup as I showed you before. Email, log in, you'll get the link. Now, there will be instructions in that. You need to swap the textures out manually in this pack, add them into the textures folder within the mod itself, and then you'll have the texture pack installed into the low quality version. So you still need to download this version if you want the texture pack. This will be the actual final map version with the low texture qualities included. Then you'll download this version, and then you'll overwrite the textures in this with what's in here. It's pretty straightforward. There is, like I said, instructions included with the pack, and it shows you in detail how to do that, talks you through it step by step. Dead easy to do, but at least it shows you. And then when you've got that and you've got your 5 mods, that's when you obviously put it into your mod folder and you boot up the game. Right, so welcome to ITALIA FS22 version. Now, like I said, this map is massive. It's huge. It's got so much to offer. New fill types and everything. You even can make pasta. You can do wine and wine crates. You need metal components to make your own empty crates. You can also buy crates. There's just loads to it. There really is. I've been trying my best to learn it as much as possible and try and give a detailed explanation of this map before I delved in. Now, last time I tried to be as quick as possible. I did a series on it as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a series just because I've got a lot going on with the farmhand series, and I'm trying to maintain that and work a full-time job, so it's difficult to do that, and I think I might be asking a little bit too much. But I would love at some point to get on this map, because for me it was excellent in FS19 and it surely is the same again. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do the best thing, which is we're going to get flight mode on, because we all need flight mode when we're looking around a map, and we'll also, in fact, change the speed that we travel at. Why not? And then we'll open up the map. So, as you can see, on the right hand side of the map itself here, there's an explanation of each farm. They're lettered. You've got separate farms. They're not really farms. These aren't L, M, and N. They are kind of just separate folds. So you've got stables separate where it's just for animals. If you're trying to obviously have even more cows, because that holds 400 cow, for example. So you could have that as an extra shed for your cows or anything. So you've got an option. There's a lot of farms here, and they're all lettered on the map, so you can go around and have a quick glance at them. Now, we have, when we look at the crop types first as well, we do have one extra, which is white grapes. So red wine, white wine, pretty much makes sense. So you can make the difference of the two, but that's pretty much where it goes. Now, precision farming is working fine. I want to confirm that. I have popped that on, so it can work precision farming on here also. Don't know if it's got a custom map. I haven't read that. I imagine that it will have its own custom map, soil layout, that is, of the map. If not, it still works fine anyway. So if you wanted to play with precision farming, that's perfectly acceptable on the map. But yeah, there is some, like you can see, there's a lot of farms, a lot of fields. Now, FS19 version pretty much went to where this road's going down here. That was the border. And it went down here. Now, all this section over here and up is what's been added since FS22. You've got a nice vineyard down here, and it is pretty much just a vineyard. It has some productions with it, so you have got the wine production plant there and an oil mill that's included in that. Now, there is another wine production plant, which is the one that you probably saw in the cellar area on the FS19 version, which is just here. So you can do that as well over here. And I think, yes, that's right. So I think that's the only two, unless I'm missing something. But I think it is. Pretty certain of it. But yeah, let's have a fly around. We are where you start off normally on the map in this little nice scenic little, I don't know if it's a town, it's more of a village, I'd say, a little village. And you start off by looking over in this direction. So as you can see, the textures are high definition. They are very detailed. You can see as well by that. It's quite authentic. And if we fly just down here, I'm trying to get as much of the texture in as possible, but you can see for yourself that that's really nice, high definition textures. Even the rocks. Now, I do know that a lot of the buildings on the low textures, you do see the difference, and it is quite noticeable. So I thought I'd point that out. I'm not going to hide it to you that they're just still good enough. They are a lot. There is a big difference. In my opinion, there's a big difference between the low textures and the high textures. So this here is a production facility, and it is the Pasture plant, or Pasture place, I guess. And if we open up this in the production change, you can see that the pasta factory, you can make pasta, and you basically use flour and eggs, and you can make fresh pasta, which is basically flour and eggs again. But the only difference is using, use eggs for the fresh pasta. To make pasta, you just need the flour. So that's a nice option, and it looks like it gives quite a lot of money. So it gives it more meaning to have chickens make eggs. Same with the flour. So you're going to need to get to a mill and make the flour from your grain and so on. But it's nice to have pasta. I mean, we are in Italy after all, so why not have pasta? Now, we just work our way around the map. These are some sell points like before. There's not much difference over here, but you've got the option of a mill here. I think also the animal dealership is just there, and a few sell points around as well. I think, let's just make sure that I've got on. Yeah, let's turn these back on for this, because it will show me some of the sell point triggers and stuff. So you've got some sell point there, mainly root crops. Train on this map is pretty awesome. You can hire it out and send it to each destination. It does give you the option as well for login. So if we just head over to here, this is the login place. And I've actually put some logs on here to test. If you go over to this, you can basically rent the train for £1,000 per hour. And what will happen, it will arrive soon. So it actually just turns up out of nowhere, and then you can drive it manually yourself. There's certain carts on it, so there's ones for grain, there's ones for anything like a loose product, so you can put wood chips in, or there's also sections where you can put logs in. So we'll leave it, it will arrive soon. It is 1.2 kilometers away, I think it said. So let's see how far away it is now, 1.1. The train's going to arrive soon, it's just travelling at a steady speed. Another good thing about this is you can get into this and actually drive it. So if we go over to, where was it? I think it might be here, you know. I think it is. And enter the vehicle. So there you go. You can move this around. So if you wanted to pick some logs up, I mean, I haven't tried this before, but we'll have a go now. Why not? That wasn't too bad for my first attempt. I'll take that. And tension belts. I think we've got some of them, but we haven't got all of them, have we? Then it's not quite big enough. And you can see that I'm not the best at that. There we go. So as you can tell, it works a treat. You can put logs in down here and turn it on. Wood chips come out of this pipe. You then have the option to unload straight into one of these. So I would put wood chips into this, which I did test out. As you can see, you've also got them for the logs. But yeah, you can actually get into the train, drive it around. It's not just good for this. You can actually use this train to go to grain sell points, mills and stuff like that. So it is pretty decent in all fairness. It's a nice addition. Do like it. So let's have a look again at the map and we'll get a bearing of this. I don't want to make the video horrendously long, so I'm trying to go through this at a steady pace. But if we work our way around from left to right, you can see that this area looks really nice. It really does. Stunning detail, nice rocks. Look at this. Look at the definition of them. They're stunning. Really is well made. And then over here you've got another sell point, but again you can hire the train. And you can see that there's two. There's one that goes to the train itself and then one that you sell direct. So that's like a sell point. You'll get money at that point. And then over here, if we go down to here, it shows you again the 2 points where it's obviously either selling or dropping into the train. And then you can take that train to somewhere else, especially if you're maybe moving it around to do some production features. So over here is just a random sheep pasture out in the fields. We'll have a look. It holds 300. It's got a nice open patch of grass for them. But what I really like is this, kind of under the bridge. This is where you're going to put your feed, and then the water's over there. I do like that. I think that's really cool, man. Traffic as well on the map. Don't know if I pointed that out already. But traffic is a thing, which you want to see, even in the distance, looking out. Looks spot on. So let's carry on. So I'm not going to go around the fields themselves because you can pretty much figure out for yourself the fields, and they look like fields and they've got stuff in and grass and crops and so on. So we don't need to have a look at that. But what we will look at is this place, because this place is pretty important. You start off at this place with some gear. It's like a small tractor. Like you can see, you've got a Fiat. This is one of the starting tractors and equipment that you need and required mods. You've got the New Holland in there. Ooh, don't want to get stuck. A bit of a silo as well, so you have got a tip trigger, so you've got somewhere to store some grain. And if we go here, I think I'm trying to figure out where you tip now. That's the fuel. Yeah, I'm confused. It definitely is around here. Anyway, you've got some chickens. You can have 600 chickens over here, which is great news. Nice little pen for them. That's pretty good. So you're going to make a lot of eggs at the start, and you're also going to be able to do a bit of field work as well, some arable. But there isn't much storage, like I said. There is just a tractor. You've got if we actually go to used equipment, I'll show you exactly. I have bought this, but that's different. So you've got that, which is the Fiat. You get the harvester. One of them trailers, you get this one, not the other one. A header, cultivator, seeder, and a sprayer as well. So let's go back up into flight mode. And you can see that that's where it is. Completely missed that. So that's where you're tipping your grain into. And then you sleep. Now, this is the house. If you're running currently the low textured model, this house, yeah, it does look very, different. It really does. You can, I instantly distinguish between the two texture packs from this house itself. This is the high definition texture pack, but the other one is yeah. There's a stark difference between the two. Let's just say it like that. So yeah, that's a little place, nice little bridge there to go under. Nice. And this is where you've got some more storage stuff. So straight direct to the train line as well, which I do like. You can actually buy seeds here and stuff, and that'll tip down for you, which I do like again. And what's really good is if you hire the train, you've got a nice little ramp here to tip into the train from the trailer. And then you've also got some more storage space over here. So this actual farm, it's pretty nice because it goes under the road. It is a really good place to start off if you want to build up your money before you start buying better things. I think I just saw some floating horses or something. I don't know what that was. Sure I did. So yeah, that's this farm. So that one is actually farm, and I imagine it's farm C. There you go. So we've got C. Grain storage silo, sleeping place, water tank, seed and fertilizer storage silo, bunker silo, chicken coop, and 1.73 hectares of land. So let's work our way down to N, which is just a nice paddock for horses. You can have quite a few here, as you can see. It's got a nice jumping stage as well. If you like riding the horses in the game, you've got the option to do that. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty nice. I think that looks pretty cool. Also as good as here, which is like a turning pole, or where they walk the horses around the pole, train them up. I mean, I don't know much about horses, but I do know that that's something about training. So that's a nice little touch there. It's not a strange random crop circle or anything. So then over here is where all your lumber work's going to be done. So when you've done your harvesting of your trees and chopping them down, you've brought them down on the train. The train can stop here. You can drop off your saw here. Use this trigger to sell the wood. If you wanted to sell it direct, you can also tip it over here, like with your wood chips. You can also use it as a production facility, so you can put the wood in. And if we go over here to this one, manage production facility. So say you want to make planks, you've obviously got the option, but the difference is now you'll also get from 10 bits of wood, you'll get 5 planks and 3 firewood. So that's good and useful to have. You do need firewood for certain things on the map. If you go to, it says wood here again. What you do need is wood plus metal components, which as far as I can tell, you have to buy these from the store. So you buy a pallet of metal components, you get 1,000 litres worth or equivalent, and then from that you can make empty wine barrels. So you get 6 empty wine barrels, and then, well, not 6 directly, I think a wine barrel is like 1,000, the equivalent to 1,000. Every time you hit 1,000, you'll get a pallet with a wine barrel on that I think holds 1,000 litres of red wine or white wine, depending on what you're doing. I'd have to test it out to be per certain on that, but I think that's the way it is. And again, with firewood, you can go directly and get 10 and 10. So it's up to you. Now, it's a bit of a strange one with the metal components, because if we actually go into the list of things you can sell, you can see the extras here. So we've got grape production waste and olive production waste, empty wine barrels, all the wine casks that we were talking about, firewood, metal components, pasta, white grapes, and pasteurized milk. Now, I do like the fact they've got pasteurized milk at the dairy, which was pretty much where we were looking at, where the train yard was and all the sell points, and there was the mill. You can take milk there, get it turned into pasteurized milk like we all drink at a supermarket. That's all pasteurized milk, so you can earn a bit more money by doing that. So it is nice to have the option. But what's strange is you can sell metal components for 3,000 at the right time of year. So that's December. Same with firewood, 3,360, and empty wine barrels. You can sell them for 1,500. Now, if we go into the store, now I don't know if this will get patched, but I've got a feeling it might do. You can buy 1,000 litre equivalent of one empty wine barrel for £500. So you can buy that and make money on it instantly. You can just go and sell it. Metal components, again, you buy them for 1,000 for 1,000 litres, and as you saw, they were around 3,000 at the right time. So you can make two grand, and all you're doing is transporting it. Same with firewood, you can buy it. So you cannot buy all these things. You don't need to produce them at where we're at now, which is like the lumber yard. You don't need to do that. You can just buy them. But yeah, I could buy 1,000 litres metal components. I could then go and have a look in the shop again. So not the shop, we're going to look at the menu. Wrong one, there we go. Let's say I've just bought myself 1,000 litres of metal components, and I think, right, I want to sell it now. Well, I can go to the sawmill and carpentry and sell it, and they're buying it for 2,000. So you can make money straight away just by hauling things around the map. But yeah, there is a lot going on, like I said. So what we'll do now is we'll go and have a look at the biogas plant, and then we've pretty much worked our way around the right-hand side of the map. I think that's fine. We've just gone to N, work our way around here. We do need to go look at this farm here and that one, and then we'll work our way down here. And then I think we're doing pretty good then. So this is the biogas plant. It is huge, really is massive. A lot of things going on as well. You can pull up to here with the tractors, and you can buy yourself some lime. You can buy yourself some solid fir, and some seeds, a bit like you did in FS19. I'm not entirely sure what this is. Don't know what that is. I don't think it tips out anything. Then you've got all your slurry compartments, digestate compartments. You've got a tip point there, I'm guessing, to dump in some silage maybe. You've also got a tip point here, again, and a tip point from the train. And then here, I think you pick up maybe you're picking up the digestate, or you're pumping in the either you're pumping in or picking up digestate and slurry and so on. You've also got some bunkers that are really good, so you can start making silage and compacting it here for selling it. There is just so much going on, there really is. And as you can see, there's a nice little Biogas ITALIA explanation of what biogases actually do and how they work, which I think is a really nice feature and nice little touch. So if we also go to the production menu now, I can talk you through that side of things. There is a lot, like I said. So you can take manure. So I think that might be solid digestate. When I was saying to you, I'm not sure what that is. So when you take manure, you get obviously electricity and you get your methane, but you also get your digestate, which is normal, but then you also have an option to get solid digestate, which is technically the equivalent of the biogases version of manure. So by taking manure, you're obviously drying it out, processing it in that way, using it for energy. Methane gas comes from the manure, makes sense. You obviously get a bit of digestate, you also get some of the dried digestate, so you do get quite a lot of byproducts from this. You're obviously reduced from the manure you had. Wood chips as well. You can take wood chips, it says wood chips plus slurry, so it's not just wood chips, you need wood chips and slurry to generate this recipe, and again you get solid digestate and liquid. Silage, you do need some slurry as well, so it seems like silage wants slurry each time for the recipe, so you need to be taking slurry and silage to get any byproduct. Same with that, sugar beets. So it looks like to me every single thing requires slurry. So you've got your olive production waste, grape waste, straw, grass and hay. Now I'm trying to figure out what's the most productive here. That's giving off 17, 2, 3. They're all 2, 3. That's a 3. So I'd say silage is up there. Silage is definitely up there because it only requires 10 and 5 and gives you 3 energy, which is where most of your money is going to be coming from. You obviously jump down with the olive, but back up to grape, and straw as well is pretty decent, but it takes a lot more straw, so maybe not as beneficial. But you do get 15 and 25, whereas this only gives you 3 and 5, so it gives you more. Straw is giving you more of a byproduct after. So you could try and balance this out depending on what you needed. If you're taking this to the biogas plant for the sole reason of wanting digestate, then maybe it's better to take straw, because it's still going to give you quite, a good source of income. It's going to consume a lot of straw and slurry by doing that, but it's also going to give you a lot more bio waste for you to use on your farm. It's one of them. You'd have to figure it out. But the thing I like about it the most is it's like the upgraded next version of a biogas plant. It's just there's so much more to it, and the train runs through it, which again is spot on. So let's have a look over to now. Let's go fly up a bit. We are going to go back down this area just because I want to show you that really nice scenic path. I really think that's stunning. So we'll go over to this farm, which is D, and you can see that's an entrance from this side, but I think there's also an entrance down here, and you can also buy an extra for it if you wanted to, which is a bunker and an extra storage place. Now this one's got a nice range really of animals, and I think it's laid out amazing. I really do. So the chickens you buy, and then they just roam around in this bit. Then over here there is a production facility, which is the bakery. So you purchase the bakery and then it's there. Now to make bread you do need firewood, so you need some flour and firewood. Cake needs firewood also, and then the normal recipe. So keep that in mind, you do need firewood when using the bakery. And like I said, chickens are all here just living the dream. Be interesting to see if the chickens, because that's their water, and this is where you purchase. I think there's the chicken feed, but I don't think they require water, but let's just confirm that. So I have got a lot of animals because I've been purchasing them just to see. So they don't require water there, and that's the only one we've got at the moment. There's also that one. So yeah, no water required on the chickens, just put a bit of feed here for them, and that must be where they're living. That must be where they go in at night. Look quite happy in there, I guess. But yeah, you've also got to the side then some sheep. So the sheep pasture kind of goes out to the side, all the way up to the little fountain area over there, which is great for getting water if you need water. But yeah, this is where the sheep go. You've got your feed triggers here and your water trigger, and you purchase the sheep from that point. Then you've got your storage areas over here, so more storage areas, but also pigs. So the one thing this doesn't have is cows, this farm, but it does have pigs, and they've got their own little area here with a bit of cover and shelter and all that kind of shabam. And then you go underneath the building a bit like you do on the other one to access their feed trigger. Now I think you tip though to this point. I'm not sure if you can tip in here. We can check that out. It doesn't look, there might be a trigger there actually. There might possibly be a trigger there. Yeah, you'd have to check that out and test it out, but I'm pretty certain that maybe your pig food goes in something along these lines, because if you actually follow the cable, so this here for example, tip there, yeah, pig food storage. So pig food storage goes into there, you can then come underneath it and you can pump in or tip into this. Maybe it's just the fact that I've got them white and them red cables, it makes me feel like we need to follow this pipe now. Where are you going? So is it come out through there and then into that? Aha! So that's where you're tipping it. There you go. So you're tipping your animal food here. So pig food tips there. Storage is over here. I think that's right. It seems that way. I think that is. I'd try it out. It'd be interesting to figure out. And see, I mean, we can always check the guide that comes with it, but I think that's the way it looks if you follow it around. And then over here, finally, you just got your place of sleep and a storage area around the back, which is, again, a bit of a workshop. That one there is to change wardrobe. And yeah, some storage space as well. So nice little farm. Got a lot going on if you like animals. I think it's perfect. I really do like that one. I mean, you can tell you're in Italy. He's got it down to a T. I mean, I feel like just by being in this spot right now, you can tell that it's Italian, it's warm, it's nice, sunny, all that kind of stuff. And then this here is, again, just a trigger for water. So you can come over here, get yourself some water. I'm hoping that he's getting ready to set up for the manure extension mod. Really looking forward to that one. But yeah, dead simple. Let's have a look at the map then, see where we are. I mean, I don't want this video to try and go over 45 minutes, but we might be struggling here at this rate. So that's the dairy over there. That's where you can take your milk and turn it into pasteurised milk. We will come back to this farm in a second. We'll have a look at that over here. So let's work our way down to M, which is a massive, absolutely massive area for cows. It stores 400 cattle. You can see that this is where they are grazing in this field alone. It's attached to this over here, and they walk in. You've got your triggers, your feed triggers on this side, so you can tip there, also your straw and so on. And then you've got a slurry tanker here, and it looks like it's tipping out manure for you in this spot. So massive, just for cows. I mean, this looks to me where the slurry is. I am not entirely sure what this is. We'd have to check. Maybe the manure goes there and pulls up from it. I'd have to check. But you've definitely got basically manure and slurry. But these do look like bunkers though, don't they? Or is this just a bunker? It's not giving me anything to say it's a bunker. We'd have to find that out. And then at the front you've got some more storage area. So store some equipment. This looks like to be a bunker. So they are. Yeah, that's your bunker. And then that must be some storage area maybe for bales on the left, on the right, sorry, and then on the left it's where the manure goes. So massive, just like it was in FS19, that one. And then you've got something over here, looks pretty nice, just a little river. Pretty nice to look at. So let's work our way over to G, and then we've done pretty much the top end, and we can jump to this one after. I think that's a good idea. So this is all new now, this section. So this section of the map is new to FS22, and you can see that there's some nice field sizes. There really is. And over here you've got a really nice looking farm. I actually think this one to me is probably my personal favourite. I just love the entrance to it. I think it's really old, looks a bit used and battered. I mean, you wouldn't know it's a farm by just entering him through here. And then you can tell that the buildings look like they've seen better days, especially that one. Looks like it might have had a fire back in the day. Bit of storage space over here. I mean, I don't think you can open them. I don't think you can, but there is some parking there. And then you're working your way around, like I said, really old school, battered. Probably got some history behind it. A lot of storage space up the top there. You've got a trigger there for, I think, open your wardrobe, yeah. And then there's your sleep trigger. And then as we get around here, this is where you start seeing the farm area. So you've got this here, which you can open up, which is some storage and brings you into the silo area and the pigs. So you've got more pigs. Triggers are pretty straightforward. Let's just move around the back so I can show you. So they look quite happy there. And then nice little area for the pigs. And then if we work our way back around again, you've got your fuel tank here. Storage space for the pig food again, it looks like. Nice little garden area there for you if you wanted to tend your garden. Storage space again over there. Don't know if that's an actual... Looks like to me that could be... Yeah, a bunker. It's a nice little bunker, that is. It's pretty decent. And then what we have got going again is some storage. So if we just open up this, a workshop, somewhere to park your equipment, and it opens both ways. And finally we have another cow area. So this is slurry and manure again being pumped up to this part. And then you've got where you pick up your milk from. Cow's pasture at the back. works pretty well. We'll have a see how many they hold here. And 240, so that's a pretty good number still. And then this is where they obviously sleep. The beds are. You probably put some straw, trigger for the feeds around here. And yeah, nice little farm. Not massive, not small as well. It's spot on. If I was going to start this map tomorrow, I would pick this one because I like using cows, so I'd have to have cows. Yeah, I just like the layout of it, I really do. So let's move down to here. Right, so I just wanted to quickly point out this place, which is kind of a futuristic, let's say. It's not that futuristic. I mean, we do have this in the world, but I don't see this commonly in the UK. But it says here, this field hosts an voltaic plant, a technology that allows the coexistence of photovoltaics and agriculture on the same land. I'm happy to announce that EDOMOD is part of a group of investors whose objective is to finance the installation of these combined systems. All funds raised from your donations for the ITALIA map, so that goes with your paying that €2 just to get the extra texture pack. This is what it goes to. Our future works will be used for investment in the voltaic. And you can find more information. So really, really interesting to do. It seems to me like, obviously you've got crop underneath and you are taking some solar panels on top, so it's kind of like a 2-in-1. So it's not just a wasted field, you've got your crops. And I imagine it kind of rotates through the day, so not one part of the crop underneath is not getting sunlight. I wouldn't know, I need to look into that, but it is really interesting. It's kind of like precision farming at its finest, isn't it? Really, it's the future of farming, maybe. But yeah, it's just something to point out. You've got that in the field. Do like that. So this is a nice little bypass coming off the road where you can go to and sell. So this is an actual sell point trigger. If we have a look, I think it is the... Just get the name for you. Yeah, so the WI train, and we want that one. Western Railway interchange. So I think if we actually go to our sell points, let's just pick a random crop. Not diesel, that's not a random crop. Let's go for sunflowers. So you can see that the WRI train you can take to it and sell. It's actually currently very close to the highest price. And then you've got the Eastern Railway interchange, Western Railway interchange, and so on. So these are a lot of the places where you're going to be taking to sell. It seems like a lot of the crop is transported by train even when it's taken to different places around the map. So I do like that, how that's been implemented as well, and you do have to take that into account. So where are we about now on the map? All the fields look like they've got the scores on, which is great. We've just been there. We need to go to this farm, which is the main farm, as I call it. I think it is probably the main farm for a lot of people. You can see that it is turned into a full-on vineyard now. So there is a lot of grapevines. So if you like your grapevines, you're pretty much set now on this map. So we'll start off at this place. We'll jump over here, move to the train, jump to this farm. This will be the final farm, and then we'll finish off at the shop. And I think we'll be around 50 minutes maybe. So I apologise if this video has gone on too long for your liking. But there is just so much to try and fit in and show you around the map. And I do want to, I did want to have a drive around as well, but it's going to be difficult to do that. But yeah, let's have a look at this now. So first things first, look at all them vineyards around the side. They're pretty much to the north of the farm, kind of side on with the west as well, the farm. You've got some smaller ones here. But I've always liked the view when you're driving up the main drive over here. Look at that. I always want this as the thumbnail for the video just because I think it's set out so well. I don't think we'll ever see a layout like this on Farming Simulator on any other map. It's pretty unique. So what we'll do is we'll work our way from this entrance. So this is pretty much here as you come in. That's your main building. Vineyards here. Got some storage there for vehicles. Fuel tank over there. If you go down here, this is where you're going to tip in some grapevines. Or grapes, white grapes, red grapes, whatever. And then this is the process plant area for your red wine. So you can bring in here some empty barrels. You can bring in some grapes. You can make red wine in a barrel. You can also make white wine in a barrel or a cask, and this is where it's all going to be produced. Now, don't ask me where it comes out or goes into. I haven't got the foggiest. I really haven't. I'd have to check and test this out, but it's definitely been changed, because from FS19 this, you could tell that this was going to be something to do with wine. So this was just an empty cellar at one point in FS19's version, so you can see that it's now been implemented. But what I think around this side is where you get the waste products. So all that waste stuff that you can take to the biogas plant, you will get from there. So that's something to note. So let's say we've moved through, got the nice little pool, just in case you're feeling the heat one day. And over here is the entrance, sleep triggers just there. And then here is where you can have up to 2 horses. We have a look around, you've got some more triggers over here. You can see it's usually for vehicles, some storage up top. The silo is there, so the tip trigger's there. And then obviously you take from that point. Cows are from here. You've also got that storage place above. Cows go in here, so some of the triggers are here, like for the feed and also for straw. Water trigger is there. So quite a lot going on. There's your bunker. Big bunker on this one. And again, some chickens. Now you've got, this is new because the one thing I had an issue with this map and this farm on this map in FS19, there wasn't enough storage for me to park equipment and tractors, and what they've done is they kind of encroached this time around onto the sheep pasture behind, and what he's done is absolutely perfect. It really is spot on. It gives you enough space now, and yeah, I will show you that in a second. So this is the same as it was. Manure comes from here. That there is underneath the cows, which is where the pigs are. And this is slurry, so we get slurry now from here. And if you walk down to this area, you've got extra storage, so for equipment, gear. It looks like there's some triggers there, there's a workshop there, so you can see that you're going to get a lot more storage space now. And even this has been widened. This used to be quite narrow, but I think that's been widened out. And then you've got the sheep. So the sheep pastures there, trigger forums here. They've got obviously the water and feed troughs around this area. Pretty straightforward. The cows though, the cows just live the dream. I mean, they get to walk across. So even though their pens are in there, they walk down here. And they have this pasture land to graze away on. And the same for the pigs. But the pigs go underneath. They're not kind of trusted to go on the road. So they go underneath. They've got their own little pig tunnel. I mean, who doesn't want a pig tunnel? So they've got some areas there again, and then here. And then that's your tip trigger for storing some pig food. And then the slurry for the pigs are there as well. Spot on. That's it. So if you go underneath, we just fly through, I'll show you that. This is where your pigs kind of come in, get a bit of shade and so on. So that's pretty much that farm. It is everything you need. You've got chickens, sheep, pigs, cows, horses. It's got everything. It's absolutely got everything. It's got a silo, storage space, you know, grapes, vineyards, production side for the vineyards. It's pretty much stacked with stuff to do. I mean, you don't really need much else there. Now there is over here a little shed, just want to point this one out, where you can store some bales. I found that really useful. And there's got 2 massive grass fields over here. There's that one and this one, and they are huge. They will tie you over for anything you need because you get so much grass from them. And then also over here you've got another area to store a bit of a workshop and some more storage points for anything loose product that you want to put in. So let's work our way down now. We're going down this really nice scenic drive. Do recommend driving this. Stunning. And then just here is another trigger. It's actually a bunker, so you can make some silage here if you've got a bit of too much and you want to make a bit. But what's really good is you can use it to straight away distribute to the train. So you can rent the train out, fill it up, and yeah, distribute it out. Now, you can't go here and return the train that you rented, but then rent another one for 1 hour. Now, it's £1,000, so it's pretty steep. And then you've got to rent it every hour, so you need to make sure you've got your silage fermented and get it straight in. Fill up all them carts, get it sent, bring it back. Remember, you've only got an hour of real-time gameplay to get that before you start paying even more money out. And as you can see, it is expensive to rent a train, which you'd probably imagine, because renting a train Can never be a cheap thing. I mean, nowadays we can't even fill up our own cars. Right, so across the road from then, what we've just been looking at, where the train is, this used just to be a straight road. We've got a bit of a roundabout in it now. I think might have been a roundabout before, but it only went up that way. But now, as you can see, we can go this way to another new farm that is, again, really nice to look at. Really nice. So if we go in, you can see that on the left there's more silos. We've got a storage area for vehicles. If we work our way just in the main yard bit again, you can see there's more pig stuff. So you've got information there for pigs. Wardrobe. I was going to climb up the ladder then, I don't know why. Looks like that is for slurry. Newer tips into that one from the pigs. Water over here. So you can make your way this way from the road. You don't have to come the way I just did. And if you were coming from that way, you've then got a lot of storage over this side. And I actually think this is perfect. This is definitely enough for what you need. And then again, you've got some sheep. So the only thing this one's pretty much lacking is, looks like chickens and cows. But you can still have some sheep and you can have some pigs. So there's a lot of pigs going on. I think in Italy it is quite common to do pig farming, I imagine. So yeah, like I said, this one looks a really good farm. Dead nice. So finally we're going to look at the I think the showcase farm. It's not even a farm, it's just a vineyard, but it's laid out so well. And from this patch here, yeah, I mean, look at this. It's like one of the end scenes out of Gladiator. And what a film that it was. But yeah, massive vineyards. Really huge. Just so impressed by this. I really am. It is beautiful to look at. So you got your triggers there. I mean, can you imagine living in a place like this, just sitting out on over to the vineyards, looking over, having probably as many glasses of wine that you can muster? You'd be a lucky man. Or lady. So when you get into the yard area, there isn't really much going on because it is just a vineyard. It is a vineyard, so your main aim here is to make wine. It is pretty much it. That is your bread and butter. Make wine, get it sold. Harvest them grapes up. So you've got a bit of a silo here, and I think as well that must be where it's stored. Storage space, quite a bit of it, which is pretty good. And then over here you have actually got a, first off, that painting looks stunning. Just want to add that in. That's amazing. But this is the oil mill, so you can rent out the oil mill from here, and you can do obviously your normal olive oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, and so on. But yeah, you've got an actual oil mill here, so that's where it tips in. That's where you take it out from. We've pretty much been round there, but if we finish off by going into this, which is where you tip all for the production side of things. So again, click this, you can see that it's just another red wine and white wine production side. So bring all your wine, bring all your grapes in here, they'll get them sorted, turn it into some fancy wine. I was actually trying to fly through glass then, as you do. But what a map, what an absolute map, what a unique setting, what a way to bring Italian farming to life, and hats off to EDO. Really hats off to EDO, because FS19's version was pretty much spot on, but as you can see, FS22 version is even better. And what a map. Massive amount of fields, great options when it comes to farming. You can do pretty much all sides. You've got the vineyards, a lot of paddocks and animal barns as well, and then yeah, just a lot going on, and it's probably a big map to drive around. Just to finish off, we are at the store, so pretty straightforward. Repair, shop trigger. I also wanted just to quickly show you as well that this is a pallet of firewood. This is a pallet of metal components, and then this is the empty wine barrels that you can purchase. So yeah, what a map. So that's it. I think on that note, we've looked through everything that we can. We've just glanced over the map. It hasn't been a really detailed look. We've looked at all the main points of the map. I would have liked to drive around it, especially this area, because look at this. Looks amazing. But yeah, overall, I think this map is definitely worth a play. Like I said, it's not on Mod Hub. You have to use the direct link in the video description on his website. So really nicely done, and a very impressive map. So hats off to EDOMOD. So on that note, I'll leave the video there. Thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up because that does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.